keepsakes. I don't care if you do laugh. It's important to me. Those was heirlooms.
Is a VCR and your VHS tapes?
Yeah, they don't even have those anymore. But I don't have mine. Even I was saving mine.
What you saving them for?
Because I wanted them, and they're mine.
Okay.
They belong to me.
Right.
And I don't think the flood should have took them out, and no one took no notice. And the man didn't even want to see the pictures.
No, we took pictures, numerous pictures that we still
had dumped out in the garbage. And he said, "Well, what happened here?" He said he went to one lady's basement, and he didn't even have to see anything.
He just looked, and he could tell.
Right, but he could look and tell. He's like, "I was lying. I have lost almost everything." And he didn't care. He didn't want to see the picture. I didn't want him.
I tried, but he didn't. He wouldn't even look. He wouldn't look at the camera. He wouldn't look. He kept looking in one direction. So that's what I noticed, and it became clear to me. I think my mom had already picked up on that because I had kind of stepped away when they were in the basement to assess the damage, to try to pull up the pictures, and she already knew. She already knew that he was not. And then when I kept trying to, in a nice way, to show him, said, "Can I show you these?" He wasn't unpleasant, but I could tell that something was already set. I don't know. Something was already set. So, everything happens for a reason. So, but I thought it was kind of unusual, in my opinion, of some of the questions that he was asking, and he was just following what was on this tablet, which is, of course, how you would, record the data to make the assessment. But it was some very interesting things, and I thought, is this standard questions for flash flooding?
Well,
if your TV works or your microwave.
I think
it's weird.
It seemed like
weird.
He wanted to go upstairs, which you have a second bar. We took him, and I don't understand, and tried to show him different things that he wanted to see, and he wanted to see each room.
Right.
And then we brought him downstairs and in the first floor, and let him look around. He let him ask about the TVs and therefore and so forth. And then he went to the basement. This is where the flooding started, not on the first floor or the second floor. It started in the basement. He made me feel like I was lying. I had worked on the wall where the water came through until my hands and fingers actually bled.
This is true.
I have musculoskeletal disease. April and I went to Menards in our area, which they didn't have any stop leak or anything like that. So we checked, and they said they had some in 25th Street and North Avenue. So we drove out there and got a supply of them. And I worked, as I say, till my fingers bled.
They literally bled.
And I got, my gloves wasn't long enough, and from it I still have the scars from the chemical
burns from the
repairs that I was doing. Right.
Leak. Yeah.
And he didn't take any of this into consideration, and he just considered me null and void. But I lost a lot, and no one ever came. I wonder who the people take in consideration is the person. Is this person okay? Can I do this, or could they do that? Did I call them at a bad time? Could I help them, or anything along that way? They don't. And then, same month, August, I paid Bank of America off for their loan. And they keep sending me things like, "Oh, did you really want to pay it off? You got a $4 principal and a penny interest.
Right.
How is this? I paid you every penny that you said that I owed you."
Right.
They went from there, and they told me to get my paper file with the county clerk's office. I need to send them $103 more. Do people realize when you're on Social Security and a pension, you don't have money just laying around to give you whenever they decide? Next thing came to me was AT&T. I have a landline.
No.
I spent 3 weeks talking to all these people from AT&T.
Oh my God.
On top of everything else I'm going to.
Yeah.
And they sent me a letter saying that I could get digital phone and keep my same telephone number.
Right.
Which I've had for 50 years.
Right.
Okay. So, they couldn't seem to get it right. They lied and said they were going to send things to the house that would plug it up, and then it would just bingo telephone. Never happened.
That didn't happen.
But talked to them day and night, trying to get it right for 3 weeks. Finally, I believe his name Samuel?
No, you said it was Stefano or Steven or Stefano or
no, that was the last one came at the phone.
What came the other day?
The last one.
Yeah, it was Samuel. If you're talking about on the phone, it was Samuel. There was another girl you talked to after
Wainwright.
We talked to so many representatives and texts over the phone or phones that it's kind of hard to keep all the names together. And of course, you also talked to Rob, who was the president.
He was accountant for the president of AT&T.
That shows how far it went. It's because after what happened and after talking to a variety of texts on the phones, my mother's cell phone as well as our home phone before they disconnected. Oh God, I don't know where to start because so much had happened. You had representatives and texts lying about sending some kind of equipment or kit and by FedEx, and all that came in by FedEx was a pile of paper. Okay.
And a manual.
That had nothing to do, that no one. I love to read, and I'm no stranger to reading instructions. Miss Mary is not a fan of instructions for putting together anything, and that's not her thing, and that's fine, and that's okay. But I'm still looking in this envelope, this FedEx mailer, for something that was promised, and you're stuck with this alleged digital phone that has no dial tone. You can't get any calls. You can't make any calls, and they're trying to reassure me that everything is A-okay. The man kept asking me, "Are you okay?" And everything is looking good. And I said, "Okay, sir." That his name was Samuel. I said, "I'm happy for you." I said it because I didn't know what to say to that. I don't know what to say to that. I said, "But where does that leave us? This phone has no dial tone. Okay? I can't get any calls. I can't receive any calls. We need a home phone. We need something. This is what we've been paying for. We've been on time every single time, even early." Very meticulous. He started to laugh and giggle and do some very odd things that I found very odd. And I'm the type of person, when I'm done with something, I tend to walk away. And I feel a little guilty because I gave Miss Mary the phone, because I said, "I'm done," because you're sitting, it seemed like for hours, trying to figure this out, and there's another person. At first I thought the guy Samuel was just trying to keep the mood light, and I understood that. But then after a while, when he kept giggling and laughing and I wasn't really sure what he was laughing about, I just kind of like, I'm done, and that's just part of my personality. And I just realized after all of these years that me and my brother have the same aspect of when we're done with something or someone, we just tend to walk away. And I should have figured that out. And I was just done. I mean, like, why is this so hard? And I actually have people sitting on the phone lying to me about why